Hey, I want to talk about the idea of surrender because this is another kind of new age concept that I misinterpreted, but that I think I have a clearer understanding of now. So basically I rewrote the famous poem, just changed it a little bit. So, God grant me the serenity to accept what cannot be changed, the courage to change what I desire to change, and the wisdom to know the difference. So I have stayed in an action because I was calling it surrender. But how I see it is that contrast, which is something that we don't like or something that we don't want, is like tension. So it's like when you go down on a trampoline and there's tension in the spring. You can feel the discomfort of it and you know that this is either painful or it's like pointing you in the desire of something that you'd rather have. So I told myself that sitting in contrast was necessary, and I was using this as an excuse not to do anything. But just staying in the painful situation is like just sitting on the trampoline while it's low and tense. Like you're resisting going up, so you're just staying down. And instead, we need to take action towards what it is that we want, or sometimes need to release something that we're holding on to, and then we will go up on the trampoline. So I think this is how life goes generally. It's tension and release, and up and down, like on a trampoline. So when we resist it, we don't have smoothest experience of life. So we feel scared to let ourselves be happy. But if you're like in this place of tension, there might be something that you need to do. Like maybe you need to take action, or maybe you need to let something go, or maybe you need to see something within yourself and release that pain. And sometimes we do need to surrender to things that cannot be changed, but we do need to take action on a lot of things. And that's where I was staying, saying like, oh, the contrast is like for my expansion, but it's only for your expansion if you go in the direction of what it is that you want. If you just stay in the bad situation, which for me was my abusive relationships, I was just staying in the relationship saying, well, this is, this is the life I chose, this is like what I chose to experience, and I just have to surrender to this. But once you see that it's not what you want, it's not serving you anymore. Like once you can see that it's abusive, you have to go in the direction of what it is that you want. So I was basically just staying on the trampoline in the push down state, and it feels awful, especially when you realize that it's like really not what you want. And there is a lot of fear of going towards what you want, because it is kind of like going up in the air. It's new and it's scary and you don't know what's gonna happen. So I think that's why a lot of us just stay in resistance actually to what it is that we want, because there's comfort in the familiar, even if the familiar is painful. So we're actually choosing to endure something over getting to be happy, because getting to be happy often means taking a risk and dealing with uncertainty and just having faith that it's going to work out. But what I would say is that the universe like wants you to succeed, it wants you to be happy. The contrast is there so that you can actually experience the opposite. So whatever pain you've had is there to try to motivate you to experience the other thing, and the universe is not going to deny you that. Because sometimes we tell the story like, oh, I don't deserve, such and such, but you actually came here to experience both sides of it, to like fully know whatever it is. So if you felt imprisoned, you also deserve to know what it is to be free. Like you came here to experience both sides of it. And it might feel really uncomfortable, but that's just because change is uncomfortable, and it doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong because it's hard or scary. Like, the call of your heart will tell you where you're supposed to go, and my heart was saying don't stay in these abusive relationships, but then my mind was coming up with all these other things. So whatever you're feeling called to do is the path that your heart wants you to take. And if you're in tension, maybe you're the one that needs to like be proactive about releasing that. And then, you know, I think life can become fun when you see how it goes. Like, when you spend your whole life in resistance, it's easy to see, or it's easy to have a perspective that life's really hard and life's really suffering. But, you know, I've watched some people go through their lives and it's not like nothing bad ever happens to them, but they just let it happen. They just like go through it, but hold on to the knowing that they deserve good things. You know, so if we can just bounce up and down on the trampoline without resistance of going up or resistance of going down, then we just get to experience contrast expansion, contrast expansion, contrast expansion, and know that, you know, we're never bad, we're never doing anything wrong, we're never being punished. And, you know, it's not really that personal. It's just the life we chose, and it's the meaning that we give it that often causes so much of our pain. Like telling ourselves that we deserve it and we should, you know, stay in suffering because we don't really deserve to be happy. And like, that's just a story, because the universe never like said that to you. It's just what we tell ourselves. So I guess my message is let yourself go towards the thing that you want, because it's yours to have. It's not outside of you. This is what you came for, and if your heart wants it, it's meant to be yours. So thanks for watching.